WORD, Decatur, Illinois.
Oh, it has been some kind of first half here at Florence, Alabama, the Division II National Championship semifinal game. As you see, Eastern Illinois has the lead over North Alabama, 28-24. But Eastern really had to battle to get that lead, Ben Martin. It has been a wild, woolly first half, a lot of points.
Certainly has, a little bit unexpected, but I think that the two things that we thought would happen is that North Alabama has a good, positive attitude, and they have been a Cinderella team. They believe in themselves. On the other side, Eastern Illinois makes things happen, and both of those things have come true, and we've got a very exciting football game, and with all the responsibility involved here, because the national championship down the line is at stake.
That's exactly what's at stake, of course. The trip to Albuquerque next week, the Zia Bowl, to play for the Division II National Championship. Eastern Illinois, as you mentioned, and you touched on so many times, makes things happen. They fell behind quickly, 7-0 on the second play of the football game. Battled all throughout the first half, had some problems controlling the option plays of North Alabama, and that had to be, I think, a little surprising for them.
Yes, it was. I think that they did not respect completely the fact that the option play would be run so efficiently, and so they used their pressure stunts, and then they finally backed off. They found out that Riley was a good runner of the option, and they went more to a zone coverage, slow play instead of fast play against the option play, and it was very effective. And then the other side, North Alabama, when they saw that the passes were going to go from Eastern Illinois, they changed to pressure stunts. They blitzed more than they have in the past. They got hurt a little bit, so they went back to slow playing that. So we see a lot of tactical things being done by both sides. Both the coaching staffs are doing a super job of keeping up with the pace of this football game.
And it is a quick pace. First they use Staple on the running game, then they use some great passing out of the shotgun. But finally, to get the lead, they use the kicking game, and that is where North Alabama, we said in the pregame, had the edge, while Eastern Illinois turned it to their advantage.
They did. They used a lot of pressure. You see 9 men rushing. They're running the gaps. They come up here in mines. He jumps up in the air. We make the good block. The snap was a little low, and Cox couldn't quite get it away, although he has very quick feet. And they got the good bounce, Eastern Illinois did. It was a slow bounce, came right into them, and they get into the end zone. And, you know, with 3 seconds left on the clock, you go in at halftime. What a boost mentally, psychologically now. Eastern Illinois definitely has the edge.
Man, you spent a lot of time in halftime locker rooms in your career at the Air Force Academy. I know right now is a busy time. The players get a little rest, but for the coaches, it's a little bit of time to make some very critical adjustments.
Yes, I think that what has to happen for North Alabama, Wayne Grubb has got to go in there and settle his kids down. They're a little disappointed. They got the result from what he taught them to do. Be intense, believe in yourself. And all of a sudden now, Eastern Illinois is back in this football game. But it's a give and take game, the ebb and flow. And except for the fact that we're at halftime, it's the same football game.
I'm still amazed at some of the catches we saw in the first half. Otis Grant and McGee put on quite a show, quite a passing show, as we expected from Eastern Illinois. And that really has been a big part of the game in college football throughout this 1980 season. And we're going to take a look at it today on our Fireman Fun Flashback at some of the outstanding passers in college football for the 1980 season. And I know Ben Martin is one who loves to see that football in the air, and it has been a great year for the Pats.
Yes, it has. College football has really been throwing the football a great deal this year. A lot of high-scoring contests, and the defenses in that secondary under a lot of pressure from very skillful athletes across the country.
Let's take a look at some of those right now, Ben, as today's Fireman's Fund Flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance. And Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. Great quarterbacks in college football 1980. Dave Dials is going to give us a look at it. Dave?
Each year, it seems there is incredible strength at one position in college football, and there's no doubt about it. This is the year of the quarterback. We've had some eye-popping performances by a covey of talented quarterbacks. How about John Elway of Stanford? His dad's the coach at San Jose State. John's just a sophomore. He not only gained nearly 3,000 yards passing, but he was better than 65% on his completions. Against Washington State, he threw for 5 touchdowns and completed 80% of his passes. And at Stanford, they're accustomed to dandy quarterbacks. Brody, Plunkett, Albert, Benjamin Dills, just to name a few. Then there's Dave Wilson, the rifle-armed kid from Illinois. He had to keep going to court so he could play the game. 2 games over 400 yards through the air. 2 more games over 300. Against Ohio State, Wilson completed 43, tying one NCAA record, threw for 69, tying another, and gained 621 yards, and he has that record all to himself. On the year, he completed 62% of his passes, and he's going to have to go to court again to find out if he can play next year. Over the years, Brigham Young has come up with one fine quarterback after another. This year's phenom is Jim McMahon, an all-time record for touchdown passes in one season, 47. 5 times Jim threw for 400 yards or more, and 6 other times he gained in excess of 300 yards. And he's still a junior because he was out all of last year with a knee injury. Mark Herman of Purdue, a real Jack Armstrong type. Mark is the holder of the all-time NCAA passing record, yardage in one career with nearly 10,000 yards. In the Iowa game, Herman threw for 439 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he was on target more than 76% of the time in that game. He had 4 other games of 300 or more yards. That's number 9, All-American Mark Herman of Purdue. Neil Lomax, Portland State, playing in relative obscurity, but you can't hide his accomplishments. He's passed for more than 4,000 yards this year alone, and he's thrown for 39 touchdowns, 6 times over 300 yards, and in 4 games he gained 400 or more. In his career, he's passed for more than 7½ miles. Then there's Joe Adams of Tennessee State. He's a senior. The NCAA keeps records on the number of touchdowns people are responsible for, and Joe leads all the others for all time with 86. He's passed for 81, and he has run for 5, breaking Rick Leach's record set at Michigan. He had a big day against Kentucky State with 4 touchdowns and 349 yards. Rifle arm Joe Adams of Tennessee State. What a quarterback. There were great hopes for Rich Campbell of California this year, but his team did not do as well as expected, and he missed 3½ games because of knee surgery. But still, he set an NCAA record with 21 straight completions. In a game against Florida, he set a record of 43 completions, a mark later tied by David Wilson of Illinois. We'll have more halftime activities from the field right after this message.
You know, for business insurance, Fireman's Fund fits almost everyone, large or small. It helps cover a business as huge as Paramount Pictures or as small as George's Photo Shop. A clothing manufacturer as worldwide as Levi Strauss or a clothing store as local as Thielen's. It even covers just about every state building in Nevada. So for your business, see an independent agent who represents Fireman's Fund. Large or small, this hat is just your size. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
And we welcome you back to Florence, Alabama. We're at halftime where Eastern Illinois, number 1 ranked, leads North Alabama 28-24, the number 3 ranked team in Division II. On the field, the North Alabama University Marching Band. Ed Jones, the director of bands. Let's listen to the music and take a look at some of the pretty girls. The Pride of Dixie marching band of North Alabama University. We're at halftime where North Alabama trails #1 ranked Eastern Illinois 28-24 on that block punt for a touchdown with just 3 seconds left to play in the first half. A wild and woolly first half of football. We expect that kind of half coming back as, of course, this game all pointing to the trip to Albuquerque, the Zia Bowl, for the Division II National Championship. You'll see it here live on ABC next weekend. Let's now introduce you to the two schools of this fine game. First to the campus of Eastern Illinois, then to our host, North Alabama.
The towers of Old Main are the landmark of both the campus of Eastern Illinois University and East Central Illinois, located on the southern edge of Charleston. Students come to the university from throughout the Midwest and from many foreign countries. With an enrollment of 10,000, Eastern is large enough to offer excellent facilities for the academic and athletic programs, yet small enough to permit individualized attention. Even the president maintains a close contact with students. The academic program is organized in the College of Arts and Sciences, the Graduate School, schools of technology, business, education, and more. In 1981, the football Panthers will move to Division I, but they will always have fond memories of a Division II national championship in 1978. A wide range of athletic endeavors from wrestling to cross country are highly regarded. Primary aim of the university's overall program is to provide responsible citizens who are prepared to serve and to lead in a free society.
In the heart of the Tennessee Valley, the University of North Alabama draws the majority of its 5,500 students from a dynamic 3-state area of the Sun Belt. Attracted by the outstanding reputation of UNA's instruction, no out-of-state fees, and an open admissions policy, students learn the challenges of higher education for the 80s and beyond. But learning for life at UNA includes participation in campus activities and attendance at a variety of attractions. The 92 acres of the University of North Alabama feature both old and new architecture. Overlooking the campus is a reminder of the history which the university traces to LaGrange College and 1830. This is Wesleyan Hall, completed in 1855. But the new predominates at UNA, symbolic of the university's awareness of the goals of excellence and achievement shared by administration, faculty, staff, and students. Flowers Hall has been the site of 2 NCAA Division II basketball playoff games in recent years. The University of North Alabama academic, service, and research programs grow in stature and renown within the shadows of 2 great Americans, Helen Keller of nearby Tuscumbia and W.C. Handy of Florence.
Welcome back as we take a look at halftime statistics. An outstanding performance by the Pride of Dixie, the band of the University of North Alabama. Ben Martin, some of your comments on the first half statistics.
Oh, it's been a great football game, and pretty much the way that we anticipated from a statistical standpoint is Eastern Illinois at 213 yards passing, but University of North Alabama is throwing the ball pretty well too, and I think that's got them a little bit off balance as they've got that 165 yards up. They're not rushing the ball quite as effectively, I know, as Coach Wayne Grubb would like them to do, but they've got 30 minutes left to establish that situation.
Let's take a look at North Alabama's final score in the first half. At this point, it gave them a 24-13 lead as you'll watch Melvin Brown take this reception from Fred Riley, and a beautiful quick look-in pass.
Perfect timing, great catch. The defender had no chance whatsoever. Pittman with his back to the ball on that man-for-man lock-on pass defense, but that ball was perfectly thrown at the right time to a good athlete, number 18, Melvin Brown.
That made it, as we mentioned, 24-13. Then Eastern Illinois came back quickly, though. They had a 4th down, Ben, and long yardage situation. They decided not to try the field goal, and they looked for the guy they always do when they get down there, number 25, Scott McGee.
Scott McGee, you can see Chuck right back. He throws the post pattern. It's a great catch, right on the money, despite the fact the defender was right there. And Scott McGee, his 18th touchdown of the year. That's really a superlative performance.
That was a 23-yard catch that capped a 72-yard drive in 9 plays. They then went for 2, made the 2 points, pulled within 3 at 24-21. Then it was the blocked punt with just 3 seconds left in the first half. Bill Mines, a sophomore from Eastern Illinois, blocked the punt. And Mike Turpinier, a walk-on player, you'll see, number 33 will pick it up. Watch 53, right in the middle, Bill Mines.
And they had the 9-man rush on. real extreme pressure. The snap was a little low. Guy Cox did not have a real good opportunity to get the ball away, and the ball gets a good bounce, and Eastern Illinois has a touchdown and made a big difference in the ball game because not only it put them ahead, but the time at which it happened. 3 seconds left in the first half.
Alonzo Lee, give Lee rather credit for blocking the punt. Turpinair scored it, and Eastern Illinois leads it 28-24. The Eastern Illinois-North Alabama game is being brought to you by Chevrolet and your Chevy dealer with Chevette, Monza, Citation, and the new Monte Carlo. Chevy's up ahead for 1981. By Texaco, with over 66,000 employees doing their best at their jobs to keep your trust. And by Schlitz, the master brewer's beer. It's today's Schlitz. Go for it. And by the Comke phone system. It saves small business time and money only from Bell. 28-24, Eastern Illinois leads it. Eastern is back on the field. North Alabama due back in a moment, and we'll be back with the kickoff.
Oh, snooker.
This office has a ComKey communication system with voice signaling.
Sure, baby.
This office doesn't. Even though he's on another call, this man's boss can still reach him.
Bob, can you get me the figures? I gotta go, baby.
This man's boss can't.
Oh, I bet you say that to all the boys.
This man has impressed his boss.
I'll be point, sir.
So has this man.
Mr. Foster. I'll check.
The ComKey system by Western Electric. It saves you time and money, only from the Bell system.
All over America, do-it-yourselfers are becoming Stanley super doers. They're doing bigger things, and they're doing them better and better. They depend on Stanley tools for measuring things right, for shaping things right, for making joints fit right. Tools that work right are made by Stanley, the do-it-yourself company.
Stanley, we want to help you do things right.
For a super deal on the NFL Thermos jug and mugs, look for specially tagged Stanley tools.
Chevy Citation. We said it was a whole new kind of compact car, and we proved it. We put Citation to work with its front-wheel drive, room for 5, outstanding storage space, and impressive mileage. And now is the best-selling front-wheel drive car in America with Motor Trend's Car of the Year award, 500,000 owners, and 6 billion miles. There's no doubt about it.
Chevy Citation.
It works.
The NCAA, unified to serve more than 700 voluntary member colleges. Its most visible service, 43 national collegiate championships. The NCAA services more than championships. It awards postgraduate scholarships for student athletes, maintains an enforcement program to monitor and interpret its rules, conducts a program to help young people called Volunteers for Youth. The NCAA compiles and distributes national statistics and publications, produces television and film programs, and is dedicated to the growth of college athletics. The NCAA, 75 years of service.
The preceding message has been provided by the NCAA.
Chris Lincoln along with Ben Martin welcoming you back to the second half of this Division II Championship semifinal game. Eastern Illinois leads North Alabama 28-24 as we get ready to start the second half. A wild first half. First, it was North Alabama leading 7-0. Then it was tied 7-7. North Alabama then a field goal for a 10-7 lead. Then they took a 17-7 lead on a 6-yard run by Lawrence Fletcher. Back, though, came Eastern Illinois to make it 17-13, missing the extra point. North Alabama then on a 17-yard touchdown pass took a 24-13 lead. Back again came Eastern as they had a 23-yard pass play to McGee on a 4th down and make it 24-21 after a 2-point conversion. Then the block punt. The punt was blocked by Alonzo Lee. The touchdown by Mark Turpinair. Eastern Illinois leads it, and they start with the football in the second half. We're underway as Kevin Staple brings it to the 25, dives forward to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Panthers. Jerome Smith, number 56, made the hit for North Alabama. Coach, expect any changes. I imagine both talked a lot of defense at halftime.
Yeah, I believe so, Chris. And it's always interesting from a coaching standpoint to see what changes in tactical approach has been made. And I think they'll show it early because this ball game is so close and will continue to be so unless the tactics are successful. As Chuck Wright, number 14, a 205-pounder quarterback, starts the Panthers off.
Slaughter and Staple, the I backfield behind him. They go up the middle. Slaughter has some running room outside at the 30 and pulled out from behind as he reaches the 35-yard line.
That's play number 2 in the running game. You know, the sweep's number 1, a quick trap with a fullback, Rod Slaughter, a 210-pounder up the middle is number 2. And I believe, Chris, that the third one is a draw play.
Tommy Horn out of Birmingham, Alabama, the strong safety, 39, got around his ankles to pull him down after a gain, though, of about 6. So it's 2nd and 4 for Eastern. They're at their own 35-yard line. Up the middle it goes to Kevin Staple. Staple had quite a first half, 14 carries, 64 yards. As you know, with Eastern's sophisticated passing attack, the running backs don't get a lot of chance to pile up statistics. Officials have called for a timeout for a measurement.
Now, that may not have appeared to have been a draw play, but that's a sprint draw play, the way that Darrell Muger runs it. They block it off with a blocking pattern instead of daylight because their eye back, this case number 8, Kevin Staple, is not that deep. He's only about 6 yards, and they run it like a power play.
Third down, you saw just inches for the first down for Eastern Illinois. Just underway in the second half. Eastern is 3 out of 8 in third down conversions in this football game. Good look there at Chuck Wright, the senior. Canton, Illinois, and Wright keeps it straight ahead. First down for the Panthers. They'll move the chains to the 40 now, or just across. Oh, right at the 40-yard line, they put it down.
You know, I don't think they ever practice that quarterback sneak. He just goes in the huddle and says, I'm going to sneak it, guys. You know, just do your thing.
Straight ahead. Got a good bunch in front of him. Rocky Becker is the center. Dilbridge, Davenport the tackles. Parker and Brown, both a couple all-conference performers at guards. First down, Eastern. Right, he's throwing deep, looking for McGee, and is way overthrown. Back there defensively, 41. Ollie McGee covering Scott McGee. There's Scott McGee, 25 right there. Had a touchdown reception in the first half. That's 18 on the year for him.
You see Chuck Wright there, the quarterback, doing something with his arms. I think the center surprised him that time. I think Rocky Becker hiked the ball when he took the breath to say hike, and it came up early and kind of jammed one of his little pinkies.
Second down, 10. McGee goes to the top of the screen, to the bottom of the screen, split Otis Grant. Wright is 6 of 11, 1 intercepted so far. He goes to Staple. Staple to the 45-yard line and stopped there, gain of about 5. It'll be third down, 5 now for Eastern.
Tommy Horn and Frank Condon.
That's the draw play to the tailback out of the I formation. Little Kevin Staple for a freshman. Very effective runner. He has the inside fake and the outside move because he's so quick, and he makes 5 yards.
Third down and 5. Just under 13 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Eastern working for the first time today with the lead in this football game. 28-24. There you see Staple today. As they go to split backs, McGee you just saw coming to the bottom of the screen. Now there's a whistle and delay of the game. Too much time. So instead of 3rd and 5, they're going to have to make it 3rd and 10. As Chuck Wright this time says, heck with all these signals. He's walking over to talk to his offensive coaches and find out what Darrell Muger, the president.
Delay of game, offense.
Thank you, Mr. Pack. Bill Pack, the referee.
Well, they had the formations set diametrically opposite. They had their wide receiver into the sidelines where Scott McGee had very little territory to operate in, so that took all the time to try to move him over to the wide side, where he is now.
Mike McGee and Kevin Staple come out, split backs, throwing formation, 3rd down and 10, straight back to pass is right. Over the middle, he's got a man and a first down. Number 81, their tight end, Rob Mahalik, the all-conference tight end.
Does that Rob Mahalik have the good hands? I'll tell you, he catches the ball, number 81, 220-pounder, just the way you're supposed to, as Chuck Wright comes back. He's going to plant, set up very nicely as his tight end number 81, Rob Mahalik, comes across the center on a curl-in pattern, right on the hands. Watch the use of the hands. Right up, catches it just as you would if you were a center fielder in baseball.
Big third down conversion to Mahalik. First and 10 now. 48-yard line in North Alabama territory. Pitch back to Staple, and Staple almost broke his little neck there as he got to the 45-yard line and flipped inside that. Well, he's got a beat-up-looking helmet, Coach. He's had a long season.
Oh, he's a hitter, I'll tell you, for a little kid, a 170-pounder. He doesn't have much room to run that sweep, and they normally run it to the near sidelines because they expect that the defense are going to be over toward their wideouts, and that's a pretty good theory, but it's a little tough on a kid like Kevin Staple to find a lot of running room.
Not a big player again, 5'8", 170-pounder, as Staples at the top of the eye. Second down, 7 from the 45. Takes to Staple this time. Oh, hit as he throws. Incomplete. It'll be Eastern Illinois football. They ruled it, and he was moving forward with his arm. Incomplete pass, and the crowd here didn't think much of that. Lonzie McCants, 29, put the big rush on right. It'll be 3rd and 7 for Eastern.
Well, he didn't hesitate. You take a look at it. See what happens. Make up your own mind. Did the arm go forward? If so, it's an incomplete pass. Yes. Very close, though. According to whom you are rooting for.
I don't think many people in Charleston, Illinois will argue with that call. Give the referee some credit there. Eastern Illinois is 2 of 2 on converting third downs. They need one here. It's 3rd and 7. Pressure there. It is thrown and caught. It'll be short of a first down, it looks like, by Rod Slaughter. Boy, Slaughter was battling for that extra yardage, but it looks like he's going to be short.
They had the 5-man pattern that time, and no one was really wide open. They had to go a little further, trying to curl in, that you can chuck right, dropping back, sets up. He has enough time, but no one gets open. Credit the defensive secondary. He has to dodge, throw off balance. Then you watch Rod Slaughter, number 45, as he tries to get the first down yardage, and Otis is trying to help him, Otis Grant, and he reaches forward, but not quite enough. They have to kick it away.
Ron Harris made the big defensive play for North Alabama. Don Mansky is in to punt. They're checking the signals. I've got him, you've got me. There's Don Mansky. Line is trying to get their blocking set. Mansky punts it, and I think he took too much time.
Oh, look at this kick. Look at that kick.
Oh, boy, that's tough. And if they had him pinned down at the 2-yard line, and they called it for delay of game.
That was a great kick by Don Mansky. They wanted to make certain that they had their blocking assignments down because the Lions were kind of shifting around in there, and everybody has a man in this punt protection. Missed it.
Delay of game. Offense. 4th down.
So Mansky will try to put it out there again.
Tough to duplicate that effort, though, Chris. Great kick by Don Mansky.
Mansky to punt. Emmanuel Young is deep. The rush is on this time, and he just gets it off. Emmanuel Young lets it bounce around, takes it at the 10, sidesteps a couple, and goes down at about the 13-yard line. Good job by Mansky there. 33-yard punt, just 3-yard on the return. So for the first time in the second half, North Alabama's offense takes the field. We'll be back with them in a moment.
You know, I love the fresh, clean smell of barley because I can almost taste the Schlitz beer I'm going to make from it. I'm Frank Sellinger. Recently, I came to Schlitz as chief executive. Mostly, I check on the business end. But after 40 years as a master brewer, I check the barley, too, and the other fine grains to make a really smooth beer. Taste my Schlitz.
As I've been saying, that's only my broker's opinion. What does your broker think?
My broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says...
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
In 1978, the Mid-Continent Conference produced a Division II champion, Eastern Illinois, and a national champion runner-up in 1979, Youngstown State. This year, once again, Eastern Illinois carries the conference banner into the Division II semifinals.
North Alabama Alabama with the football for the first time in the second half. Their quarterback, Fred Riley, rushed for 86 yards in the first half, threw for 31 yards, accounted for 117 yards of their total offense. There he is, number 3, Riley. Up the middle it goes, number 32, Milton Taylor, the sophomore fullback. Good tackle by Randy Melvin, 73.
Randy Melvin on the tackle.
That time, Milton Taylor just kind of ran back against the grain, get that middle linebacker going with the flow and cutback. It's a well-devised play, and he made about 4 yards, which means they're right on schedule in their running game.
Chuck McCurley came in and placed Mike Gilliard, a tight end, as they're looking at a second down, about 6. Riley hands off up the middle. It goes again to Taylor. Bangs in there for 2 or 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down. 3rd down for the Lions. Pete Caton, number 83, made the hit for Eastern Illinois.
Looks as if Fred Riley, number 3, the quarterback for the Lions, thought he'd test that old theory, run right at their strengths, namely Pete Caton. Didn't work that time.
I guess the pace had to slow a bit, Ben. It seems to have slowed here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they're kind of working for field position, I think, Chris.
3rd down, 5. They need to get it out to the 24-yard line as Riley wants to throw, and there's the guy, Keith Winowski. We were looking all the time for Caton, but it was Winowski, the sophomore, number 86, who came underneath, wrapped him up, the first sack of the day.
Yeah,
for Eastern.
Keith Winowski made a quick move for rushing the passer. He kind of thought they were going to have to throw it that time, so he just unloaded on him.
Loss of 6 on the play. As you see, total yards so far. Almost double now for Eastern. 4th and 11 out of his own end zone. Guy Cox punts. Oh, good roll. Boy, coaches hate to see that. You've got to feel those punts. They lost about 30 yards there, Ben.
They sure did. It was a low liner, though, Chris.
55-yard punt by Guy Cox. We'll be back with Eastern next.
Sony introduces the art of watching television. Sony Betamax lets you record and see what you want when you want, to summon into your home a world of wonder. And a remarkable feature called Beta Scan lets you scan forward and reverse to quickly find any single image. Betamax transforms the act of watching television into the art of watching television.
Your show is about to begin.
Sony, the one and only.
People come in here and ask for plugs for Japanese cars. And I tell them there's a spark plug designed to get the most out of small 4-cylinder engines. It's got a fused glass seal in here, so you get full power and a remarkably wide heat range. Helps prevent stalling and misfiring. Then I tell them something else remarkable about this plug. It's not Japanese, it's American. Autolite.
In 1980, ABC Sports was proud to bring you the most unforgettable moments in sports. The magic and the miracles. Impossible dreams come true. In 1981, there will be more miracles, unexpected victories, and unbelievable defeats. Unknown athletes in pursuit of glory. Unforgettable moments in the making. The challenge of the 80s is excellence, and you'll find it on ABC Sports, the leader in sports television.
3rd quarter score as we come back here in North Alabama, Florida. Now just a 3-point lead over Florida State. Right here, it's Eastern Illinois with the football, leading by 4. Up the middle it goes, big hole for the big fullback, Rod Slaughter, as he rambles for a first down. Out across the 45-yard line of the quick trap.
That is the play. That's their number 2 offensive weapon on the ground, and number 45, 210-pounder, Rod Slaughter goes up in there, splits those linebackers, gets into the secondary, and he's tough in there. 13-yard gainer, Chris.
Well, I'm impressed by this center, senior Rocky Becker. Has been very active in the line today. Looked good. Has all-conference guards to either side of him and an all-conference tackle to his right. Looking to pass right, hits his man, steps out of bounds. That is Otis Grant.
Otis really has quick hands. He's kind of casual over there, number 90, 6 feet 2 inches tall. He just relaxes and snatches that ball out of the air. It had a lot of RPMs on it. Chuck Wright really rifled it over there. It's a 3-step drop, plants throws. It's the old basic 5 to 6 yard speed break to the outside, and Otis just snatches it right out of the air.
Picked up 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 now for Eastern. The crowd of North Alabama whooping it up here. Up the middle, Slaughter. Can't find the hole inside, bounces outside and gets the first down. Good running by Rod Slaughter. Had things jammed up inside and was able to bounce out. Frank Condon, 59, made the tackle. You see Slaughter has reached 50 yards for his efforts today.
He's a great pass protector, too. He blocks so well. But that time, North Alabama just closed off that trap, but he ran to daylight. He did not hit the trap hole. He bounced off and hit another hole.
East Illinois very methodical right now. 13 first downs to North Alabama. 6 flags all over the place as they try to get this one underway. Looks like Otis Grant decided to get a little rolling start. Illegal procedure against the Panthers. Boy, you hate this as a coach. Your team's got some rhythm now. They're starting to put together some first downs, and that penalty really can kill a drive.
Yes, any penalty is ill-timed and pretty tough to swallow. But this is a team that can come back. They don't really sweat the small stuff like 5 yards. If they had a 15-yarder, then that would really be traumatic. As you see Darryl Mudra up there, he's the blue shirt guy, second from the right, making all those tactical decisions from the press box. Darryl Mudra.
Back to throw is Chuck Wright. Looking way downfield. Here it is. Caught and dropped. Oh, what a job by Otis Grant. It looked like he didn't have it, then it looked like he had it, and he came down and couldn't quite hold it in.
Otis Grant, he is the Swifty, as we said. He's running a takeoff fly pattern, just streaking down the sidelines. He gets double coverage here as Emmanuel Young comes over from his free safety spot, leaps up in the air, and it's almost caught and then knocked away. A good thing they had 2 defenders on Otis Grant, or he'd have had another 6-pointer.
You see, he has 5 catches for almost 80 yards today. Ollie McGee, 41, can be credited with knocking that one away for North Alabama. So now it is 2nd and 15. Quick swing out of the backfield. This is the fullback, Slaughter. Oh, runs over a guy at the 40-yard line. Boy, he lowered his shoulder and buried Ollie McGee over there. Rod Slaughter.
It's the first time we've seen that quick screen. It's just a one-man screen as Chuck Wright comes back, just drops. It's almost like a sweep. He dumps it off to Rod Slaughter, coming around the corner, gets a block on McGee at the corner, and then he just lowers a boom like a fullback should. Wham! That'll shorten your neck.
Laurent Baker, 31, threw the lead block out there for him. It'll be 3rd down now. They still need about 6. They've got to get to the 32 for the first down. Almost the 32 is where they need to go for the first down. Oh, he's got McGee wide open. Touchdown. Scott McGee was wide open. And McGee doing a little bit of his dancing stuff here.
You got to watch that. You may not taunt your opponent in college football. I don't think he was really nasty about it, but he had 2 people open deep, both Otis Grant and Scott McGee. The Chuck Wright, number 14, drops back in the pocket. A lot of time. He was concerned about the blitz, but he didn't get it. And the ball is up in the air into a wide-open Scott McGee. And how many touchdowns does that fella have? 19 on the season. Touchdown, Tommy.
Back upfield, Chuck Wright is down. Chuck Wright is down at about the 46-yard line.
Uh-oh.
And they're working on a knee. Oh, boy, you hate to see that. Great senior quarterback for the Panthers. Gosh, I didn't even see that. The ball was released. Everybody's watching, of course, McGee.
Probably just blocked into him, I believe, Chris, and just stumbled across him. Let's hope it's just a bruise and not a strained ligament, because that could be a real bummer for a kid.
There you see 25, Scott McGee. Now 2 touchdown catches today. 19 for the season. Wow.
That's a great performance. The guy is very sneaky quick and has great body control for catching the ball no matter where the ball is.
They're still working on Chuck Wright here. 6 minutes, 19 seconds up to play in the 3rd quarter. Eastern Illinois leading 34-24. The extra point to come as Chuck Wright gets up. He's going to be all right. Oh, that's good to see. He looks like he'll be okay. Reminder coming up right after this one. I don't know if it can match the excitement, though. One of the great rivalries in college football. The Fighting Irish and the Trojans square off in L.A. Notre Dame, USC. Next over most of these ABC stations. Ray DeLong is going to attempt the 35th point for Eastern. Extra point by DeLong is good. 6 minutes, 19 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Eastern Illinois, a team that struggled, that trailed throughout the first half until the final seconds, now leads it 35 24.
That's Coach Johnson. He's from the college. Looks like he's worried about his problem dandruff. I wish he'd ask me.
Mr. Owens, I need a shampoo.
Ever tried Tegrin?
Can it really work on my itching, flaking?
Well, in a national survey, 3 out of 4 dermatologists judged Tegrin's medication effective in fighting even problem dandruff.
I'll give it a tryout.
Hey, how's that dandruff problem?
Tegrin's a winner, Mr. Owens.
Prove it to yourself. Tegrin works.
This is a modern-day giant. It does the work of yesterday's room-sized computer. Yet it's this small. A new computer-on-a-chip from Bell Laboratories. Technology like this helps our network make home and office communications more reliable and economical. And in the future, will help transmit information services that put data and pictures at your fingertips. The Bell system, keeping your communication system the best in the world.
Next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, championship boxing. Salvador Sanchez and Juan Laporte fight for the WBC World Featherweight title. Next Saturday on ABC.
And second from the right in the press box, you see Daryl Mudra, the head coach, who calls the plays from the press box, and he's been calling some dandies lately.
Emmanuel Young takes a pretty good stick on the kickoff return as North Alabama, they've got to get to work. This is McGee's 7th game with at least 2 touchdown catches so far this season. We're talking about Scott McGee. You look at Daryl Mudra. He's next to the guy in the ball cap there. He coaches the entire game from the press box. And he must like what he sees right now. The Panthers leading 35-24 over the Lions. But again, don't count North Alabama out. Fred Riley, number 3, the quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Up the middle, nothing there for Milton Taylor, the sophomore. Falls forward for a yard or so. Randy Melvin, 73. Charlie Kurtzinger, 66. The defensive tackles meet at the ball carrier to make the stop. Gained maybe 2. 2nd down, 8.
And Coach Wayne Grubb from North Alabama's got a decision to make pretty soon about possession football or let's move it and score, because they're not able to do either right this time, and they're falling a little bit further behind.
Trailing by 11 with 5:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Riley from behind, and the ball is knocked away. One of the players grabs it going into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Number 86, Keith Wonowski. Keith Wonowski grabbed it. It was Pete Caton, the other defensive end, 83, who made the play, forced it. Wonowski picked it up, obviously in the air. It had to be in the air. And there's some happy folks all the way from Charleston, Illinois, celebrating here.
Unbelievable, as you can see, as Fred Riley goes back. He's setting up. He's blindsided as Keith Wonowski comes in right there, and the ball it's kicked away from him. Oh, Pete Caton came in and knocked it loose.
Right.
Look at this.
And
There
Wonowski,
goes Keith Wonowski.
no doubt about it, he caught it in the air and runs it in for the touchdown, and North Alabama, a stunned crowd here.
Eastern Illinois makes things happen.
That's why they're number 1. The extra point is good by DeLong. Wow, just that quickly. 5:34 left in the 3rd quarter. Eastern now is up on top 42-24. Touchdown came less than a minute on McGee's touchdown catch with 6:19 left in the quarter. Wonowski, a 20-yard fumble recovery caught in the air, but again the play was made by the great All-American, number 83, Pete Caton, the defensive end.
Certainly can see why that 250-pounder is called the sledgehammer. He really belted Riley, just knocked the ball loose from him. Here's Wayne Grubb now. He's coach at UNA. He's a little concerned now that the luck and the charm that he has to live with has been kind of escaping him here, but he's done a great job of turning this program around at North Alabama, Chris.
Hey, Ben, it's going to be a very critical drive for them to get their confidence back. DeLong sends it low across the ground, tipped around, picked up now at the 20-yard line. At the 25 to the 28-yard line is Tony Franklin, the sophomore. Franklin returns the football. And it'll be North Alabama. 1st and 10.
And Randy Harm goes back to first.
Eastern Illinois has come back now and scored the last 29 points of this football game. 29 unanswered points put on the board by Eastern Illinois. 5:28 left third quarter, still plenty of time, but North Alabama's got to make some things happen. And here's the guy who does it, Riley. Oh, what a hit. Oh, Riley came outside, and Kevin Gray, number 10, stood him up. That's the guy they've heard about, Kevin Gray. He really can make some hits. I think the officials warning him about how you can get charges for assault and battery.
You can see this hit now. Kevin Gray, who was a hitter, the all-conference defensive back of the year. Oh, does he hit? Number 10, he comes up as Riley's turning the corner of the option here, and wham! Oh, that's what the official was chiding him about. It gave him a shot to the chops.
A little forearm there. Picked up 4, second and 6. Throwing under pressure, incomplete. Boy, all over him there were the two All-Americans, Caton and Melvin. Intended for Jerry Hill, who's been very quiet today. And there, boy, I tell you, Fred Riley, you don't think he's been in the war today? Ben, look at that shirt.
Oh, he is really a gutty guy. They're standing in there. He carries the ball with a keeper. He fires that football. He's taking a pounding, but he's really a fine competitor.
You see his stats so far today. Most of that 85 yards, of course, on that first big run of his, 63 yards for the opening touchdown of this game. Draw play, and that won't work either. It's going to be 4th down, and suddenly Eastern Illinois has taken full control of this football game. Randy Melvin, 73, made the hit on Lawson Fletcher. Florida State has come back to take the lead on Florida, 17-13 in the 4th quarter. Florida State was down at one time, 10-3 in that game. They come back to take the lead, though. The punt picked up and knocked down immediately. That was Charles Person, number 18, defensively. Steve Fowler, 73. Paul Presley, 71. Fowler, the one who gets credit for the tackle.
Chris, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Wayne Grubb turns loose his defense a little bit to try to make something happen. As you see Jeff Christensen coming in the ball game. But he has to make something happen because it's not happening naturally, and I think it's time to stop being patient.
Jeff Christensen is in. You saw Chuck Wright helped off the load. Boy, there's a big defensive play there. Big hit, number 54, middle linebacker Bobo Lowe on Kevin Staple. Cut him down there. Lost the yard.
Bobo kind of blitzed. He scraped off that time. As you can see, the Division III championship game in the 4th quarter with Dayton ahead of Ithaca, 35-0. That's a biggie.
Right, Dayton is on their way. Flyers to the Division III National Championship. We'll decide the Division II title here on ABC next week. Winner of this game against the winner of the team on the West Coast, Santa Clara, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. That'll be next week on ABC. Inside, handoff goes to Slaughter, and Slaughter goes out to the 40-yard line. And there's one they must have put in.
Yeah, well, that's a draw play, the version of it that goes to the weak side instead of the strong side as Rod Slaughter comes up in there. He's run that play a great deal. Fullback trap, fullback draw. Those are the two plays he excels at.
Got 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, this is the same play, but from a shotgun. He hands it forward a la Roger Staubach of the Dallas Cowboys. That's a very well executed play and a little surprise, I think, to the Lions.
Lions need a defensive play here. It is 3rd down and 3. Panthers need to get to the 43 for the first down. Handoff, big fullback has the first down and more at the 45 at midfield. First down for Eastern Illinois is Rod Slaughter, the fullback. And hey, you got to give some credit. Looks like Eastern Illinois, with that 12-yard gain, has really gained control of the line of scrimmage, man.
Yes, I think the fact that the defenders for North Alabama have had to rush the passer all day long, that's a very tiring thing for a defensive lineman, so they're a little bit soft for the run, and you take a 210-pounder like Rod Slaughter, who's gained 70 yards on only 9 rushes. He's kind of punishing them now, and they're a little bit back on their heels.
Clock running down, 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. First down at the 49-yard line at North Alabama. And there's a whistle. Flags go before the play.
Didn't seem like they took that much time.
No?
Pardon my football.
Here's your football, sir.
Delay.
live fans.
Well, it looks like Mr. Pack has seen a few football games, hasn't he?
Oh, yes.
Referee, one of the veteran referees in Ohio Valley.
He's got really good charge of this game, though. There have been very few penalties of a severe nature.
In fact, 2 against North Alabama for a total of 20. Eastern has 5, but for just 25 yards. So it's a good football game. Staple outside, trying to get inside, and North Alabama's all over him there. Piled up. Ronnie Louie, number 80, the defensive end. Frank Condon, linebacker 59, combined to make the tackle on Staple.
That's the one opportunity that Kevin Staple had to run to the wide side of the field, but he had all those Lions over there waiting for him. Nowhere to go.
No gain on the play. Of course, the penalty earlier makes it now 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. Eastern, the football back at their own 46-yard line now. They've got to get to the 39 of North Alabama for the first down. As you look at Staple's statistics on the day. Going for some more. Staple outside. The guard's in front of him. Staple to the 45-yard line.
Those 2 guards, Steve Parker and Blair Brown, do a fantastic job for big guys, pulling and turning the corner, just like the old Green Bay sweep when Vince Lombardi was coaching there. 10-yard gainer for Kevin Staple. He's the workhorse in that backfield, only 170 pounds, Chris.
It'll be 3rd down and 5, as you see. He is over the 80-yard mark now. He's going to get out to get a little rest. Slaughter and Davis are now the backs in there. Jeff Christensen, the quarterback. 3rd down. Actually need about 6. Looking for the 39 for the first down. Pass is there. First down to Rob Mahalik. Mahalik, number 81. Made the catch, and he got just what he needed, about a yard more.
It looked just like the replay as Christensen drops back, and Rob Mahalik, number 81, a sure-handed tight end, just drags across the middle. The ball shown exactly in the hands. He makes a good grab and has exactly the right yardage for another first down.
1st and 10 now for the Panthers. They lead 42-24. This may be the last play of the 3rd quarter. 10 seconds and counting. Christensen inside at the 35-yard line. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. The end of the 3rd quarter. Eastern Illinois, 1 quarter away from a chance at the national championship. NCAA college football, Eastern Illinois, North Alabama will continue after this commercial message and a word from our local stations.
I may be the only man running a major brewery who is a master brewer. Have been for 40 years. I'm Frank Sellinger, Chief Executive Officer of Schlitz. 2 years ago, when they asked me to come to Schlitz, they said, Frank, let's make the best. Here it is, Schlitz. Compare Schlitz with any other beer. This has the taste that I've been after for 40 years. I know you'll like it.
Hey, you're driving half a car.
To prove Haviland Supreme gives cars engine protection up front.
I know, but...
Well, you should know. It delivered proven protection in punishing state trooper testing.
Yeah, but...
Where's the rest of my car?
Yeah.
Here it comes. To prove Texaco's Haviland Supreme delivered improved mileage, too. Upfront protection backed by improved mileage. That's Haviland Supreme.
Do me a favor.
I know. Prove how good Haviland is in the next county, huh?
Monday, the human torpedo takes to the drag strip, and that's incredible.
Here's your straws, Bob.
Thanks, Pete. Happy holidays.
Thanks.
In fact, a holiday straw's for everyone. It's on me.
Bob's buying?
Bob? Bob's buying the straws. Bob?
Bob's buying, Bob.
Bob's buying the straws.
Season's greetings, beer lovers.
Happy holidays from one beer lover to another Stroh's.
What do you think of the Midas foreign car muffler guarantee?
It's a great day for my Datsun.
A triumph for my Triumph.
A victory for my Volvo.
From now on, you can Midas-size your foreign car and get the same famous guarantee we give American cars. It says if anything ever goes wrong, Midas will replace the muffler free as long as you own your car. Foreign car owners, now more than ever, it pays to Midas-size.
Whoop-de-doo for my Subaru. go.
WAND, Decatur, Illinois.
Second and 3. Hand off, spinning around. Tyrone Davis looks like he's going to get the first down.
Tyrone ran the fake off the drop back pass that time. He slant off to the right side, cut her back against the grain, which is what all good football players do when they have to make a first down. Go north or south, not east or west.
42-24, as we told you, Eastern Illinois, after trailing through much of the first half, has come back to score 29 unanswered points here against North Alabama and has this game, it looks like, pretty well in control. 42-24. In the third quarter, look at this statistic. Eastern Illinois, 169 yards of total offense. North Alabama, 4 yards in the whole third quarter. Staple, flag goes up, and Staple goes down. Bobo low, like a jet, 54. Came and really whapped Staple down. He took quite a shot. Flag is down.
It's the first major penalty that time on that sweep. Caught somebody grabbing a hold, holding against the offense.
Bill Pack, the referee, talking it over with the defensive captains for North Alabama. Here's the third quarter statistics.
Well, that's very impressive, Chris. You can see now Eastern Illinois is really taking charge as they go for 360 yards. But the ratio of passing and running is about the way they normally have it, except they started off running. On the other hand, the big deal down there is the number of offensive plays, 67-44, and the time of possession, 10 minutes more for Eastern Illinois than for North Alabama.
And again, North Alabama only 4 yards of offense in the entire third quarter. Eastern Illinois now backed up by the penalty. First down, but now 25 to go. Way back on the 42-yard line. They throw it is Grant. Grant had ideas maybe of trying to lateral the football to Kevin Staple, but they had him wrapped up. Gary Davis, 43. Wouldn't let him go.
You can see that Otis Grant, number 90, is a very experienced receiver, and he's worked with these passes before. He ran about a 15-yard pattern, saw no one was open, so he came back to the passer. Didn't make a big gain, but it was a completion, as he's caught 6 of them for 86 yards.
Load the football to the 36-yard line. It'll be second down now, about 18. Christensen back to throw. Over the middle, it is going to be intercepted. Picked off there by Emmanuel Young, number 1. Young brings it back to the 35-yard line and knocked out of bounds. They were looking down the middle for the tight end by Hillock. The ball was simply overthrown, and Young was right there.
Yes, he was. And Emmanuel Young is that defensive safety man. He frees up as Rob Mahaly comes down from left of your screen into the middle. Jeff Christensen lays it up there, but it's overthrown. And playing a center field spot, number 1, Emmanuel Young. He really very alertly picks it off, runs it back, and makes the break. The thing had to happen for them to get back in this football game.
And that is Young's second interception of the day, his 7th on the season. There he is, number 1, Emmanuel Young. He's also done a great job returning punts and kickoffs for North Alabama. So the Lions, a little breath of life here. Pitch back goes number 44, and there's Lawson Fletcher. He's been pretty quiet today, Ben. He's their leading rusher, but we haven't heard much from him today.
Well, it's been so difficult to move the football against him as Krutzinger made the stop on him. Defense, good pursuit that time. They kind of tried to undress the Lawson that time.
Picked up 8. It'll be second down at about 2. Riley has Jerry's Hill split up to the top of the screen. Goes with the draw play outside, and number 28, Tony Franklin, wrapped up quickly by Alonzo Lee. He might have lost some on the play. He did. Lee is going to lose a couple yards.
It's a strange call for that situation. He had second and short. They had two downs to make it, but number 51, Alonzo Lee, locked on man for man with those setbacks, and you're not fooled on the draw of the screen when you're playing that kind of defense.
It'll be third down now at about 4. They have to get up to the near the 48-yard line for the first down. Motion up the top of the screen goes Gilly. Riley keeps it, now makes the pitch. He's got Fletcher on the corner, and Fletcher goes for the first down, and a flag goes as well.
That's a good call. The option play and finally able to give it to the sprint man, the outside toss. Good call on third and about 5 or 6. You don't know whether they're going to throw the ball, run it, trap it, and they ran the option. Lawson Fletcher turned the corner for some key yardage.
Looks like they're going to lose it, Ben, on a penalty.
Oh, really? Here's your basic veer option. Fullback fake attracts the crowd to pitch out. Really well done by Fred Riley. Good move.
Clipping.
Oh, that's
81.
Yep, they call Mike Gilly the tight end. You can see it on the replay.
Flip. Offense.
That's too bad because they really look like they're about to move the ball. And those kind of penalties really hurt. They all hurt, but that one really a traumatic job for the Lions.
And it was a 3rd and 4. Now make it 3rd and about 15 or so from the spot of the foul. Again, they need about the 48 for the first down. They're back at their own 33. Riley looking to throw. Overthrows number 82, Jerry Hill, incomplete. So it'll be another punt for North Alabama.
Tough throw for Fred Riley. His right hander rolling to his left. It's tough to set a stable platform and throw deep, and he was unable to get it to Jerry Hill that time.
11:32 left to play in the 4th quarter. Riley comes over to talk things over the offensive staff. And into punt will be Guy Cox. Oh, Cox fumbles a snap. Hit, bounces away. Now he's going to punt the football. Boy, he did quite a job. Picked up and covered immediately down at the 33-yard line. It was Charles Person, number 18, who picked it up, and Mike Rollins, 69, made the hit. Heady play by punter Guy Cox. Got 35 yards on the punt. We'll be back in a moment with Eastern Illinois on offense.
Foreign oil. We know the consequences. Higher prices, political instability. So America is working hard to reduce our dependence by increasing the use of our own energy resources. At Westinghouse, we're using our technology to get more energy out of coal and nuclear. And we're working on solar, fusion, fuel cells, and other renewable sources to serve our children for generations. Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
This is my New York life agent. How did he get so big in my eyes? When I got married, he suggested a very affordable starter policy. He really grew in my eyes. Later, the same New York life agent gave me brilliant advice in business insurance, and he grew some more. Now it's a policy that guarantees retirement income. My New York life agent stands 10 feet high with me. Ask your New York life agent. He has the answers for you.
The Gulf South Conference, established in 1971, is a 7-member league comprised of schools from Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi. The GSC has long prided itself on being one of the finest NCAA Division II conferences in the nation, winning 4 Division II national championships.
Welcome back to Florence, Alabama, where Eastern Illinois is enjoying themselves this afternoon here. They have scored 29 unanswered points at the start of the end of the first half and went through the second half. They've dominated to lead 42-24. With a 1st and 10, Tyrone Davis finds little and no running room there. Ron Harris, 55, made the tackle.
We noticed that number 14, Chuck Wright, senior quarterback for Eastern Illinois, back in the football game, Chris, he wasn't really severely injured. He's a tough competitor. He certainly doesn't want to miss any of his assigned time at quarterback.
Wright, number 14, as they break the huddle. Scott McGee comes down to the bottom of the screen. The speedster Otis Grant is split to the top of the screen. They go instead of the fullback, Rod Slaughter, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Boy, these Lions are still fighting down there. There's the story of the score by quarters, Ben.
You can see that North Alabama opened up fast. Second play from scrimmage, they went that 63 yards for a touch. But since that time, it's been pretty much back and forth. But Eastern Illinois dominating in the last about 25 minutes. Slaughter, 11 carries, 75 yards. Their fullback.
He's in there along with Kevin Staple as they split backs this time. Again, Grant to the top of the screen, McGee to the bottom of the screen. It is 3rd down and 8. They go to Staple on the running play, needing 8 yards. Staple cuts inside. First down for Eastern Illinois across the 45 to the 46. crossed up the defense.
Sure does, and that little kid, number 8, Kevin Staple, 170-pounders. Behind us, two big guys, Steve Parker and Blair Brown. He reads that blocking pattern so well. They've run that play an awful lot of times, and he just does well. He coasts out there, and he knows when to turn it up and when to put his head down. Very effective for a freshman football player. There's Dal Mudra up in the press box. He's second from the right up there in the blue shirt, winning his coach. Division II, 129 in 18 years.
Ooh. Throw, boy, nice pass by Wright. Great grab by, there he is again, number 90, Otis Grant.
I think those three receivers that Eastern Illinois have, as a group, they have got to be among the top pass receiving corps in the country, no matter what division you're playing. Otis Grant with the speed, Steve McGee with it all, and Rob Mihalik with the great hands.
Ben, I don't think we have enough scholarships to try to hand out Most Valuable Player Awards for Chevrolet. Wow, we've got some great candidates. Our Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award we'll be picking at the end of the game. $1,000 scholarship with the name of the student athlete at the institution. Up the middle, here goes Slaughter. He's a candidate. Oh, bangs into a couple, still keeps going. Rod Slaughter, he's going to be near 100 yards. Boy, big, tough fullback, 210-pound senior. First down for the Panthers.
We watched Rob Slaughter running that inside stuff, the trap play, the fullback bucks straight ahead in there, and he is a very outstanding inside runner. But more than that, he protects that passer exceptionally well. 12 rushes, 89 yards, a couple more carries. He's going to have that coveted 100-yard day rushing.
And Eastern's doing just what they want now to make the clock keep moving. Coming down to 9 minutes left in this championship semifinal game at Division II. Flanker left, split right. Now they want to throw right. Looking for McGee. Tips it with one hand, can't pull it down. What do you know? They didn't get one.
Well, just let that one get him away from a little bit. That's a tough throw. It's a quick sideline break to the opposite sideline from the right hash. And he had a lot on that, but it's a very tough thing to hit that with a precise timing. As Chuck Wright, you can see he's attempted 20, hit 12 for 138 yards, but more meaningful than that, 2 touchdowns.
Second half, first downs, Eastern Illinois 6, North Alabama 0 in the second half. No first downs for North Alabama. Flag goes as pulled down Kevin Staple. Number 59, Frank Condon, 41, Ollie McGee over there, but a flag was thrown on the play.
Frank Condon.
That's going to send Eastern back, holding the call.
It had Otis Grant and Big Blair Brown out there trying to turn the corner for Kevin Staple, and one or the other was a little guilty of reaching out and grabbing one of those lions.
Panthers penalized for holding.
Holding the call, marching back 15 from the spot. And it'll now be second down. The football all the way back to the 47-yard line. They have to get inside the 25 for a first down. Here comes Chuck Wright. It is second down, about 25 for Eastern. Draw play up the middle, another flag goes, and here goes Slaughter on the run. Slaughter nearing that 100-yard mark, but again the flag went down as the play started.
Officials are starting to earn their pay now.
Illegal procedures, the call against Eastern. They'll bring this one back. This program is being brought to you as an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Now let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
Illegal procedure, offense, second down.
Illegal procedure, the call against Eastern Illinois, and it costs them another 5. So they are marching back here. Florida State coming from behind, holding off Florida 17-13. The game still in the fourth quarter. And Dayton rolling to the Division III National Championship, 49-0 over Ithaca. No contest there. Here goes Kevin Staple trying to sweep wide. Cuts off a good block there of Steve Parker. And goes there the 45-yard line in North Alabama territory. Gary Davis made the tackle. It'll be third and still long yardage.
Pretty good approach in a situation in the game with 8 minutes left. They want to use up the clock. It's pretty tough to throw it down. There's Kevin Staples over the 100-yard marker. What a worker for a little guy. 102 yards, and with a team that just basically throws the ball, that's a great accomplishment.
That is the 4th time this season that the young freshman back has gone over 100 yards for Eastern Illinois. Third down, 21. Right back to throw, gets it out to Slaughter. Slaughter makes a good move to the outside, run out of bounds at the 36. He'll be about 12 yards shy of a first down as he goes out near the fence. Frank Condon, 59, bumps him out of there. Stops the clock with 7 minutes, 29 seconds left to play. They'll be way short of the first down.
Well, it's just a little dump play. They were trying to get the ball to a good runner in the open field, and they did. They got it to Rod Slaughter, and he makes some good moves here, but just a little bit too much yardage to be gained as they push him out of bounds. Fourth down, and you know what?
That's right, Jeff Christensen is in there. Short punt. Oh, he almost had it blocked. They put him back like in a shotgun, and look at this punt by Christensen. Rolls out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So North Alabama, without a first down to their credit in the second half, comes on to take the football. We'll be back.
Wait till you see how good you can be with Minolta XG1.
Hey, you want to see some terrific pictures?
Depend on the automatic Minolta XG1 to give you clear, sharp pictures. It does the work. You take the credit.
Yeah,
Hey, do you want to see some terrific pictures?
No. Yeah, look.
That's lovely.
For a limited time, get an XG1 and get a $25 rebate from Minolta. See your dealer now for details.
Introducing the 1981 Chevy Malibu Sport Sedan. A solid, sensible car with a 6-passenger interior, impressive V6 mileage, a comfortable ride, plus a little something sensible cars are not ordinarily known for. Chevrolet introduces the Malibu Sport Sedan. A 4-door with a difference. A 4-door with pizzazz.
Next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, championship boxing. Salvador Sanchez and Juan Laporte fight for the WBC World Featherweight title. Next Saturday on ABC.
An exciting lineup for you coming up next week on ABC's Wide World of Sports. 7:20 left to play in this one. Chris Lincoln, Ben Martin, our ABC crew, with producer Ken Wolf and director Ralph Abraham here at Florence, Alabama. As North Alabama, flag goes, trying to get something going, breaking out number 44, Lawson Fletcher. It's just over the 15, but a flag was dropped.
Pete Caton on the tackle.
Block, Hale. Offsides, preliminary signal against Eastern.
Pete Caton jumped into the neutral zone, but it looked like he thought he probably got back in time. But didn't. They're in a dilemma now because they made a good gain on the play.
Give him the option. You can have it first and 5, and I think they like that idea.
From where they are in the situation.
Offside, defense, first and 5.
Took the penalty. It'll be first down and 5. Red Riley, the quarterback, number 3, a junior out of Birmingham, Alabama, has played well today for North Alabama. They're still looking for their first down of the second half. Oh, he drops the ball, knocked down. Was he attempting to pass? Let's see. Oh, first down for Eastern Illinois.
Oh, that's a tough one. We'll let everybody look at that and see what they think. I'll be interested to see this too as Fred Riley drops back. It's just a pure drop back bucket pass. There is he set up. Does the arm go forward? The arm did, the ball didn't. He had a good hit there from Randy Melvin.
Look who has the ball. Pete Caton.
That was a tough call.
Caton got the ball. But Eastern Illinois has the football. First and 10 at the 11-yard line. Wright is in at quarterback. Chuck Wright. Looking now. Oh, he's got Slaughter wide open. He drops it at the 2-yard line. Rod Slaughter, the fullback, was wide open.
Rod's not used to catching the ball going that deep downfield. It hit him right in the weak spot.
Straight in the hands. Oh.
But he's a great player. He's been doing a great job. He's really wide open. Chuck Wright goes back, number 14. Little play pass flow, half roll to the right, fullback out in the flat, runs her to the corner, wide open for 6 points. See, you don't expect the fullback to be out there, and he was not covered. He was thinking 6 points, had it in his scrapbook, dropped the football.
Chuck Wright's stats on the day is now 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. They'll go on the ground now to Staple. The guards are out in front of Staple. Can't get away, though, from number 54, linebacker Bobo Lowe. It'll be 3rd down. About 8.
That was really good defense. They had a good blocking pattern set up for Kevin Staple. Defenders, Bobo came through there, along with Ollie McGee from the defensive backfield. It's Kevin Staple, 24. His stats are very impressive, 122 yards on the day for a freshman running back in a championship game.
3rd down, 7 at the 8. Back to throw. Ooh, touchdown. Otis Grant, just in the corner of the end zone. Otis Grant on a touchdown strike from Chuck Wright. And there is the old splits from Otis Grant.
He almost forgot to do him that time. He almost split out here on the running track as he made that catch. What a precision throw from Chuck Wright. Drops back, and he looks for this. It's a square out comeback right to the flag. Precision throw, a lot of hum on it from Chuck Wright. Otis Grant, great catch, just inbounds, reaching out with his hands, gets her down inbounds for 6 points right at the flag, or the pylon.
AUC being congratulated. Otis Grant on the sideline as Ray DeLong attempts the extra point. Kicks it up. That's the 49th point this afternoon for Eastern Illinois. Eastern Illinois 49, North Alabama 24 with 6:08 left. Eastern Illinois thinking about a trip to Albuquerque.
Hey, world, who do you take traveling?
MasterCard and me.
Who do you take shopping?
MasterCard and me.
Who do you take to dinner?
MasterCard and me.
And me.
MasterCard and me. We can do it all.
MasterCard's the only credit card I really need. Anywhere.
MasterCard and me, we can do it all.
JCPenney's incredible MCS Series 35-watt receiver, 3-way bass reflex speakers, and belt drive turntable. One sound will tell you all you need to know about their specs. One look will show you what a great buy they are at $729.80. But look again. Right now, these incredible components are on sale for an unbelievable $499. JCPenney's MCS Series 35-watt system sale. The value is crystal clear. The bowl games on ABC. December 27th, the Liberty Bowl. December 29th, the Gator Bowl. January 1st, the top 2 teams in the nation meet head-on for a possible national championship. Georgia and Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. Live on ABC.
Just joining us, DeLong kicks it off. Picked up by the short man, James Gill, who takes it out to the 33-yard line. Bill Mines, 53, made the tackle for Eastern Illinois. And Elvin Lindblad, who does our statistics for ABC, came up with an unbelievable statistic here.
North Alabama's last first down was at 5:55 of the second quarter. Yeah, that seems like a millennium ago. They better get up and do it. They can't be that patient. They got to do something. Make it happen.
It's what, 36 unanswered points now put on the board by the #1 ranked Panthers. Riley hit as he throws, got a man open, great catch, first down. There's one for him.
All right.
First down, Melvin Brown, a sophomore, went up high to bring it down out of Miami, Florida. North Alabama playing for a little pride right now. 25 yards on the reception to Melvin Brown.
Melvin really has been an outstanding pass catcher. Play fake to Lawson Fletcher, laid the ball up. It didn't have a lot on it, but it's laid up nicely to a wide open Melvin Brown. Comes down with the ball.
The throw is complete again. Jerry Hill, number 82, the split in, makes the catch. His father is not a bad football player, Harlan Hill here.
Harlan Hill was Chicago Bears a few years ago, and he brought this son up exactly right. He looks just like him from the standpoint of catching the ball in clutch positions. Jerry Hill, number 82. They have 2 good wideouts on this football team, and don't throw the ball to them as often as Eastern does, but they have them.
They got 9 yards. Oh, the big rush is on. They clip it out nicely there, and he's got a wide open field at the 20, the 15, at the 10. Oh, and Bolt down at the 6 is Clarence Johnson, the freshman, number 25, and a flag goes down. There to grab him was number 10, Kevin Gray. He's the guy who has saved a lot of touchdowns for Eastern Illinois this season. But boy, a headsy play by Fred Riley. I can't believe he got it off, Ben.
They looked as if they speeded up the camera on that one. I'll tell you, Fred Riley had no time. The big rush was on. Clarence Johnson just a little dump-off pattern out there. 26-yarder. He caught the ball in the flat. Does he have the quick feet? Watch the pressure. The pressure on Fred Riley. Dumps it off. Right in his face, catches it. Now watch these little feet work. He cuts back. He has a good blocking pattern. It's a quick screen out in the flat to Clarence Johnson, a 27-yarder. Right there, Kevin Gray hooks him, but he got him by the face mask, so they're inside the 5.
Finally, half the distance to the goal. First and goal at the 3. Riley gives it himself. Touchdown. Fred Riley takes it himself and goes in for the touchdown.
Is he having himself a day?
North Alabama showing some great pride here late in the 4th quarter. After Eastern Illinois had put 36 unanswered points on the board, they've come back with a touchdown.
Fred Riley's amazing. Here he comes. He runs a basic veer option, sticks it in the fullback, takes it out on the read, now tucks it and goes into the end zone. Really a heads-up play by a young man who's been playing heads-up all day.
Nelson McMurrin, we were worried about him. He's still limping a little bit, but he came in to hit the extra point. Eastern 49, North Alabama 31. 4:58 left to play. Is this one over? Well, we don't know yet. Stay with us.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, all America style. Americans love weekends, not just the Saturday and Sunday kind, but whenever we take time to enjoy the good things in life, like the smooth and mellow taste of Michelob. Because all over America, Michelob helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Hey, put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah. Wayne Grubb in the blue sweater there, his arms folded. The head football coach of North Alabama has seen his teams pull off some miracles this season. But I don't know if they've got one big enough here. 49-31. They trail 4 minutes, 58 seconds left in the football game. And they're kicking off to the #1 ranked team in the nation, Eastern Illinois.
Well, Chris, despite the fact they're a running football team and they play possession football, they have a very sophisticated passing attack. Whoops.
Got an onside kick, and it's quickly covered there. Number 40, Brad Yakos, a freshman out of Staunton, Illinois, was on the kick, and so it'll be Eastern Illinois with the football. First and 10 at the 48-yard line. And I guess Coach Mudra must feel pretty good about it, Ben. He's left the press box, gone down to the sidelines.
Oh, he's down there, huh? Down where the action is.
That's right.
Right. Great. Let's get a little feel of the excitement that we've felt up here.
Jeff Christensen, number 11, is in at quarterback, split backs. And out goes across the 50, taken by freshman Ricky Davis, number 95. DJ Thomas made the tackle for North Alabama. Hey, North Alabama can stay warm, though, this winter watching the play of their basketball team. They've got one of the great basketball teams in Division II. In fact, they were national champions just a couple seasons back. 1978-79, they were third in 76-77 and number 4 last year. So a great basketball program here at the school. As you see Mudra on the sidelines, his arms folded there as he talks it over to his defensive coordinator, the big guy on the headset, Chuck Dickerson.
I used to kid Darrell about being up in the press box because the weather was bad. There's the final, as you see, Florida State, number 3 in the nation, going to the bowl, 17-13 over interstate rival Florida.
They meet Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl New Year's night. Pitch goes out again to Davis. Davis picking his way. He's got some running over the 40. Davis at the 35 to the 30-yard line. Boy, Ricky Davis out of Lawrenceville, Illinois, a freshman. Impressive run there for the young football player.
Yeah, that's the base play as Jeff Christensen tosses it back to Ricky Davis. He's another 170-pounder. You see the big guy there, Steve Parker, out in front of him, turning the corner. He gets some great blocks, and he cuts her back against the grain, which what you should do when you see that hole. Back against the grain again. Ricky Davis trying to break it loose for 6 points. He's a fresh runner after Kevin Staple was in there all day long.
Junior Scott Weber in there, split in, gave him a great block. Hurdling up over in the air, trying to get his 100 yards is Rod Slaughter. They've got Staple over 100 yards. I'm sure they're thinking about giving Slaughter the opportunity to climb over 100 yards as well.
Really effective running backs in a pass-oriented attack. They do it all, and they're very strong. They haven't had any letdown from the standpoint of fatigue. And what a luxury it is, Chris, to have two quarterbacks like Chuck Wright and Jeff Christensen, both equally talented.
Clock counting down as we get near 3 minutes left to play in the football game. Eastern Illinois with a second down. They need about 7. Football at the 26-yard line. They go again to Davis. Davis on his feet down near the 21-yard line, just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and about a yard to go for Eastern. Ben Pointer, sophomore, number 89, made the tackle as North Alabama, along with Eastern, have a lot of their reserves in. And there's Coach Mudra. Darrell came down to get a little TV time, Ben.
Yeah, we couldn't quite pick him out up there in the box. He's a great fellow, great coach, and he's done a tremendous job at Charleston at Eastern Illinois University.
His victory today does give him the most wins of any football coach active in Division II today. Up the middle, spinning in there. Number 35, Tyrone Davis. This victory today by Easton, if they hold on here in the final 2 minutes and 18 seconds, will be the 140th of his career. Darrell Mutter really has had the touch, Ben. He has come into programs and, boy, just like right away, turned them around.
Mr. Magic, he has done that with solid football and a keen mind, and he surrounded himself with an outstanding staff. I can't help it. You know, he had to replace 6 staff members in this past year, and he's come up with this unity that we see out there on the field together. That shows some organizational and administrative ability that a lot of people don't know about the coaching profession, but Darrell Mutter certainly has accomplished that.
Got offensive coordinator Dennis Shaw, who, of course, is a great quarterback in his own right at San Diego State, and has really just added to this staff. And, of course, the defensive coordinator is also brand new. Chuck Dickerson came down from the Canadian Football League with Toronto. Sneaking it for a yard is all they needed on a 3rd down play. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game now, and the clock rolls in Eastern's favor.
Quarterback keeper. First down.
Be sure to stay with us. We'll have to make some decisions here on the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award winner. And we'll announce those, a $1,000 scholarship in the name of the student athlete to the General Scholarship Fund of each university. We'll have those decisions for you, and we're looking forward to bringing you a super post-game show coming up. We'll have all the scores for you. Take a look at the top 10 and the bowl matchups. Ricky Davis goes for about 3 or 4 as we go down to 1:30 now. And we'll also give you a complete preview of USC Notre Dame coming up next on ABC. So stay with us. We'll take a look back at some of the great games in that series.
The game is to the 17th.
It's been an exciting football game. We thought it would be that interesting because the tactics and the approach from both sides of the line of scrimmage have been rather unique. A lot of good athletes out there, an experienced squad. Do I think the experience of the Panthers is paying off here in the second half?
Second down, 8 at the 17-yard. Oh, up the middle, big hole. With the football goes Tyrone Davis, a freshman. I want to thank Dave Kidwell, the Sports Innovation Director, who spotted for us here today, and Jerry Long from North Alabama has helped us as well as we take a look at the replay here, Coach.
It's a trap play, the basic fullback trap play, and Tyrone Davis, a freshman, 200-pounder, though, very quick starter, gets all the way down to Emmanuel Young, who's really had a busy time in that secondary.
It is 1st and goal to goal now for Eastern from the 7-yard line. It's a handoff and pulling his way down to about the 3-yard line. Again is Tyrone Davis, the freshman. Gives us a chance of some thank yous to Dr. Daniel E. Marvin Jr., president of Eastern Illinois University, R.C. Johnson, the athletic director, to Dr. Darrell Mutter, the head football coach. And again, Dave Kidwell, we thank these people for their help in our preparation of this telecast. It'll be a 2nd down, goal to goal now from the 3-yard line. Christensen keeps it on his hip, bootlegs into the end zone. Touchdown for sophomore Jeff Christensen. as Eastern Illinois breaks over the 50-point mark with 12 seconds left in the game.
Chris, I think Jeff Christensen made that play up. They don't have a running play where the quarterback comes out and bootlegs all by himself around the end, but it was well devised, well called, and he had a pass receiver open down there as Scott McGee was ready to, he wanted to dump it off.
For North Alabama, Dr. Robert M. Galat, Wayne Grubb, Bill Jones are the associate athletic directors here. Wayne Grubb, head football coach, and Mike Galloway, the sports innovation director. North Alabama, we thank them. The extra point by DeLong is good. This is the most points now that Eastern Illinois has scored this season. Their previous high was 52 against Augustana. They now have 56 with 12 seconds left. We'll be back in a moment.
My alternator light won't go out.
Uh-oh.
What do you think it is, Mr. Goodwrench?
Well, let's take a look.
Mr. Goodwrench has the right GM equipment available to work on your General Motors car. Thousands of dollars worth. But he also knows the value of a well-placed thumb.
What's the problem? Just a stretched belt. I can replace it while you wait.
All right! Keep that great GM feeling.
Where Mr. Goodwrench works.
With genuine GM parts.
Feeling 7-Up, I'm feeling 7-Up. Sharing styles, sharing smiles, feeling 7-Up. 7-Up. It's a crisp, refreshing feeling. Crisp, clear, and light. Clear and memories turning 7-Up. And it sure feels right. Feeling lucky, 7, feeling 7, ever, feeling 7-Up.
Mr. Brett, maybe you ought to choke up on the bat. It might help. It helped me.
7-Up, I'm feeling 7-Up.
Just 12 seconds remaining in the football game. Eastern Illinois marching on their way to Albuquerque in the national championship game next week. It'll be here on ABC. Kickoff by DeLong and run out of bounds there. For North Alabama, Milton Taylor, number 32, with the football. 8 seconds left to play in the game. Daryl Mudra has joined us up here now, the head football coach for Eastern Illinois. Give him a hand mic here. We'll get a word or two from Coach Mudra while we have a little time here. Penalty goes against North Alabama. Coach Mudra, congratulations. Outstanding effort, and nothing to it, huh?
Well, not really. I was really first pleased to win because whether you win by 1 point or 10, it's at this point it's all over if you don't. But I thought the turning point when we were really struggling the whole first half and we got the block kick, and I thought their team played very well and did some awfully good things. That's the most points I think has been scored against our defense. So that was a great effort, and I think physically we were just a little bit too strong for them, but they did a real fine job.
Coach Mudra, congratulations again. Eastern Illinois broke it open with 36 unanswered points. From the end of the first half, they held North Alabama without a first down through the third quarter. And there again goes Coach Wayne Grubb at North Alabama, looking for Coach Mudra. He's up here, right? Congratulations to Eastern Illinois, and we'll be back in a moment to wrap things up right after this.
Dial-it has national sports news. It's new, it's rational just to call National Sports for all the latest reports. We're talking national sports news. We've got it all. 900, what a wonderful call. 900-976-1313. 900-976-1313. Dial it. We're talking to you.
Goodyear technology brings you an all-season steel-belted radial for the 80s. Today, you need a tire that gives you fuel economy and all-season performance, wet, dry traction, and long tread life, hydroplaning resistance, and dry road stability. Arriva. Even its footprint tells you it's different. Only from Goodyear. Goodyear. Quality and innovation.
Chris Lincoln along with Ben Martin, also Daryl Mudra, Dr. Daryl Mudra, the head football coach of Eastern Illinois here. And we want to recognize our Chevrolet most valuable players, Ben.
Yeah, I think that number 79, Steve Parker from Eastern Illinois, the 250-pound guard, the pulling guard, that really made the plays go around the corner. That's really sustained the offensive unit. So I think that's great for him to be recognized. Did a superb job of protecting the passer and leading the sweep. And then for North Alabama, no doubt, number 3, Fred Riley, their quarterback, who started things off with a bang. The second play from scrimmage, ran 63 yards for a touchdown, but his team wasn't quite up to it as they lost 56-31, Eastern Illinois over North Alabama.
Again, Eastern Illinois scoring 36 unanswered points to come from behind and then to gain control of this game, and they're on their way to the national championship game in Albuquerque. Once again, the final score, Eastern Illinois 56, North Alabama 31. Travel arrangements made through on a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports. We'll be back to join you in a moment. Chris Lincoln along with Ben Martin from Florence, Alabama.
Sunday, terror comes to paradise when the angels meet trouble in Hawaii.
Bob, look!
On a deadly treasure hunt that puts the angels in an underwater race with the mob.
Let's go.
In the struggle for a kingly ransom that could mean the difference between life and death. Tomorrow.
Hey, Mr. Sunbeam, we love your bread. It goes with every kind of sandwich, every kind of spread. It's got that home-baked freshness we love so much. Hey, Mr. Sunbeam, hey, Mr. Sunbeam, you've got the hometown touch.
Vote for Mr. Sunbeam in the Sunbeam Vote for Me contest. His platform is home-baked freshness and flavor. Every loaf you buy is a vote. Vote for Mr. Sunbeam. Buy a loaf of Sunbeam today.
In the taverns of Milwaukee and on the windows of the bars, you'll notice something you'll seldom see in other parts of the country. The name Ondecker of America, a small special premium beer that's been made there for 41 years. We're making a little more Ondecker now.
Making it right, making it good,
And we're making it in the same slow, careful way it's always been made.
making a beer the way everyone should.
You may be seeing Ondecker now where you live. We think you'll like it. The people at the brewery have done everything they can to be sure you will, because they're proud of their special beer.
We made Ondecker to be the best of all.
And because after 41 years, it's finally leading home.
And if you can't make Ondecker, then why make beer at all?
WAND Decatur, Illinois, Channel 17.
The Prudential College Football Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Prudential Insurance. For life, health, auto, or home insurance, when you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. Get a piece of the rock, Prudential Insurance. And we welcome you back to Florence, Alabama. In between us here, Darrell Motor, the head football coach of Eastern Illinois University. They have won the chance to go to Albuquerque to play for the national championship. Let's go over to get a comment from him now with Ben Martin. Ben?
Well, Darrell, you told us that you have a team that makes things happen, and they certainly did today. You stuck pretty much with the game plan.
Yeah, we weren't too happy with what we made happen on the first play from scrimmage, but it turned out real good. I think we played about like we had expected. Chuck Dickerson's done a really great job all year with our defense, and in the second half when we were able to shut them down and we got some turnovers, and of course I think the big thing was that give us a bunch of points was 2 or 3 turnovers in the second half. And never let them get started.
Well, how about that block punt right before we went in at halftime break?
Well, that was probably the big key play for us. Put us ahead for the first time, and up until then we were really struggling, both offensively and defensively. We made a lot of mistakes on offense, which we've made all year. We haven't been razor sharp, but we're physically awfully good, and our players play hard, and we've been able to overcome some of those turnovers and some of those errors.
Certainly have, and you played extremely well, and I congratulate you. Chris,
I was just thinking about watching the football game, Coach. Early on, they gave you a heck of a battle with that option. What'd you do to take the option away from them finally?
Well, we were playing a little bit too aggressive at first, and we just backed off and went to our real basic defense and played a little bit more zone. And we were physically good enough to stop them so that when we tried to pressure them, they were very clever, and they had 2 or 3 plays that we hadn't seen that took advantage of what we were doing defensively and took advantage of our pressure and got some big plays. And of course, in the first half, they kind of dominated the game.
I know the fans always like comparisons, sometimes bothers coaches, but can you compare this football club with the one that you took to the national title in '78?
Well, I've said all along that I thought our team was much better. Our defensive team is about the same team that won the championship, except that we've added Kevin Gray, who is a very fast player who's added a lot to our defense. Offensively, Dennis Shaw has just done a great job. We have a lot of new faces on offense, but we have an excellent plan, and Dennis has just done such a fantastic job of calling the game and picking the opponent apart. I think we've really accomplished a lot, and it's given us time to take a lot of new players and get them ready to play. So we're going into the playoffs a much better offensive team than we were early in the season.
I know Ben and I made quite a bit out of the fact that this was a passing team. They'd throw it any time, any place. They'd throw all over the place. So, of course, you start the first quarter running the football, and ran it well. Kevin Staple and I tell you, the big fullback, Rod Slaughter, are impressive backs.
Well, we think Staple's a really great back. He's not very big, and he's only a freshman, but he's a very bright young player that has a great future. And Slaughter, our senior, has been a kind of a mainstay all year. Slaughter blocks well, and we're big up front, and we ought to be able to move some people. And I think for the first time we're getting our offensive people a little bit better coordinated. And the only problem we had earlier in the year is we didn't always know who to block. But once we get that down, we're much better.
We'll be back to talk more with Coach Darrell Mudra, the head football coach at Eastern Illinois University. They are on their way to the championship. We'll be back to recap their victory and look ahead right after this.
Hey! My best shot in years, and nobody notices.
Because they can't see you anymore.
Freddie Brandt, 5 feet 8, 180 pounds.
175.
Come with us.
Where?
Why?
Where you won't worry about your game.
Or anything else.
You mean it? Oh, no. I just bought a house. Yeah, my kid wants to be a doctor. I gotta rotate my tires.
But you do have Prudential life insurance, Freddie. That'll help take care of things.
My piece of the rock. Oh, yeah. First, I figured I was young, healthy.
Really?
Yeah, and couldn't afford it. Then my Prudential agent showed me how I could.
Prudential's special policy for growing families lets you start off with lower premiums. So now you can afford what you can't afford to be without. A piece of the rock.
I could get another piece of the rock tomorrow.
There are no more tomorrows.
For life, health, auto, home. Prudential Insurance.
Well, Coach, you had the luxury of having two fine quarterbacks. Statistically, coming into the football game, you told us that they were very equal. And on the field today, you certainly utilized both of their skills.
Well, that's, I think, been one of the big things. Dennis has done a super job of getting each to do the things that he does best. When Jeff isn't hot, Chuck usually is, and so and then you've always got the added comfort if one of them gets a little bit banged up, like Chuck Wright did today, the other guy can go in. So it's been a real plus, and who knows, next week the guy that might do it all might be Jeff Christensen, who the last couple games hasn't got to play quite as much as Wright.
Right, and we hope that you do it all, Coach Darrell Mudra. You've done a super job. Congratulations on this victory today, and good luck in the championship game in the Zia Bowl.
Thank you very much, man.
Coach Mudra will be waiting, of course, to find out who they're going to be playing. It's Santa Clara against California San Luis Obispo. That'll be coming up later today. And that team, the winner of that game, will then face #1 Eastern Illinois for the championship next week on ABC in the game in Albuquerque at the Zia Bowl. Coming up on ABC, still more college football. One of the great rivalries in the game today as Notre Dame plays at Southern California. Dave Dials earlier had a chance to take a look back at this great series between the two teams. So let's go back now with Dave. Recap some of the great moments in one of the big rivalries of college football. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Trojans of USC.
It all started back in 1926 when the legendary Newt Rockne entered into a two-game agreement that became a national tradition. The Rocks team won that first game 13-12, and they've played every year since, except for war years interruptions. In 1948, a 14-14 tie was called the upset of the year. Leon Hart had scored one Notre Dame touchdown. Then in the final quarter, Bill Gay returned the kick 86 yards. And it was Emil Sitko who scored the tying touchdown with but 2 minutes to play. Notre Dame gets the extra point, and a 14-14 tie. The 1960s introduced a new dimension, television, to this great rivalry, and put the spotlight on the coaching rivalry involving Ara Parsegian of the Irish and John McKay of the Trojans. Ara's team was undefeated going into the Southern Cal game and led by 17 at the half. But Southern Cal rallied with 1:33 to play. Fertig to Sherman, 15 yards, a touchdown. Southern Cal wins 20-17. The 67 game billed as the battle for the Heisman. Terry Hanratty for the Irish and O.J. Simpson for Southern Cal. But on this afternoon, it was all O.J. 3 times he scored in the second half, and the Trojans got out of South Bend with a 24-7 achievement. Then the decade of the 70s, and perhaps this 10-year span, produced the greatest games of all. December 2nd, 1972, Southern Cal undefeated, riding a 15-game winning streak, and the Irish were powerless to stop the advance. Southern Cal clinched the national championship, and sophomore Anthony Davis scored 6 touchdowns in a Southern Cal victory, 45-23. He ran the opening kickoff 97 yards and later added a 96-yard return. The following October, it was the long run again, but this time by a Notre Dame man, Eric Pennick. That keyed the victory. Pennick went 85 yards in the third period. Notre Dame won the game 23-14 and ended Southern Cal's unbeaten string at 23. And at the same time, helped propel the Irish to the national championship. November 30th, 1974, they really played 2 games. Notre Dame won the first half 24-6 and never scored another point. Anthony Davis, now a senior, went 102 yards with a second half kickoff. In all, he scored 4 touchdowns. Quarterback Pat Hayden threw for 4. USC poured 35 points into a span of less than 15 minutes. USC won the game 55-24 and went on to capture the national championship. And everybody remembers 1977. That's the year Dan Devine brought out his Notre Dame team in the green jerseys. And he and John Robinson were squared off in the coaching duel. Joe Montana passed to Ken McAfee for a score late in the second period. Then Bob Golick blocked a Trojan punt. Jay Case carried it in for the score. The final score, 49 for Notre Dame, 19 for Southern Cal, and the Irish finished that season as the national champions. The 1978 game was frantic. Just a few ticks remaining on the clock. Southern Cal trails Notre Dame 25-24. We pick up the action with our colleague Keith Jackson telling us exactly what happened.
Frank Jordan. It's long enough. It's good. With 2 seconds to play, it is good.
Southern Cal wins it 27-25. Last October, it really wasn't close at all. The Irish defense could not contain Charles White nor Paul McDonald. The Trojans with 591 yards total offense, and White with 261 of those on the ground, and he scored 4 touchdowns. The final score, Southern California 42, Notre Dame 23.
Don't find out about your auto insurance by accident.
Ducks, ducks.
Forms.
With a piece of the rock.
Hello, Prudential.
Our survey shows that even after a claim, people claim we're good.
I'm covered? Thanks, Prudential.
Ducks. Forms. What
Ducks.
forms?
For auto insurance, too.
Get a piece of the rock.
Prudential Insurance. Even after a claim, people claim we're good.
Tell them. They go quack, quack.
And back in Florence, Alabama, the band has left. The fans are gone. They're waiting to welcome Eastern Illinois back. The score's even off the scoreboard, Ben. Eastern Illinois 56, North Alabama 31, as Eastern Illinois is on their way to the Zia Bowl and the national championship game against either Santa Clara or California Poly San Luis Obispo. They're the 2 teams that are playing later this afternoon. Meanwhile, the Division I Giants get ready to flex their muscles on the New Year's Day period for the bowl games. Number 1 Georgia, the nation's only undefeated, untied major college football team, 11-0. They're in the Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame will go to the Sugar, no matter what happens with the USC this afternoon. Number 3, Florida State struggled a bit to get by Florida today, but they're headed to the Orange Bowl. They'll meet Oklahoma there. Number 4, Pittsburgh in the Gator Bowl. Number 5, Oklahoma to the orange. Ben, how about the second 5?
Oklahoma looks like they're ready. Mission, of course, with Bo Schembechler with the big win over Ohio State. Going to be in the Rose Bowl representing the Big Ten. They're a very strong football team. Came on very fast at the end of the season. They have some outstanding players for there. And, of course, they have a tradition of going to the Rose Bowl. And, of course, Baylor, a surprise team in the Southwest, taking their championship team 10-1 into the Cotton Bowl. And Grant Taft doing a great job there. And the Bears team, Alabama, a little disappointed in the second half of the season, but 9-2. You can't sweat that. And they're going to the Cotton Bowl. Nebraska, of course, was nosed out by Oklahoma, going to the Sun Bowl, a 9-2 team. Penn State, Joe Paterno's team will be in the Fiesta Bowl because they lost out to Pittsburgh in that final game of the year. So there's some big lineups in the top 10.
And it's a big one coming up next. NCAA college football, Notre Dame and USC. That's next on ABC Football. We'll be back to wrap things up from Florence, Alabama in a moment.
Don't find out about your homeowner's insurance by accident.
Hello, it's a recording, Stanley.
With a piece of the rock.
Hello, Prudential.
Our survey shows that even after a claim, people claim we're good.
We're covered? Oh, it's still a recording, Stanley.
For homeowners insurance, too. Prudential Insurance. Even after a claim, people claim we're good.
Thanks, Prudential. She's talking to a human, Stanley.
Eastern Illinois on their way to Albuquerque in the Zia Bowl, beating North Alabama 56-31. It was a game that was very much in doubt, and the Eastern blocked a punt right before the end of the first half, and then went on to score 36 unanswered points against North Alabama. The defense shutting down the North Alabama game to no first downs through the entire third quarter and well into the fourth quarter. Eastern Illinois ranked number 1 in the nation. And Ben, we talked earlier, this is their last chance at the Division II National Championship. They go to 1AA, and they're going to be tough next year in 1AA.
Yeah, from what I saw from Dal Muter's team out there, Eastern Illinois is strong, and they're ready for Division I college football.
The Prudential College Scoreboard Show. And I tell you, we have had a bunch for you today. The scores, the bowl matchups, and, of course, the USC Notre Dame preview. Happy to bring it to you, ABC Sports, with the College Football Scoreboard Show by Prudential. Prudential Insurance. For life, health, auto, or home insurance. When you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. Get a piece of the rock, Prudential Insurance. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports. Chris Lincoln now, along with Ben Martin, our ABC crew. Thank you for joining us today for the Division II Championship semifinal.
Tomorrow.